The clouds gathered slowly over ABA that afternoon, heavy and impatient. Kim sat by the window of her hair salon, twisting a strand of thread between her fingers. It was the quiet before the chaos, the kind of stillness that made the air too thick to breathe. Her shop, Glam Touch by Kim, was small but had heart. It sat at the corner of Angmore Road, nestled between a roadside tailor and an Acura seller who always shouted too loud. Inside were 2 worn dryers, a big mirror with a crack across it, and shelves lined with oils and relaxers. It wasn't fancy, but was hers, built after 5 years of plaiting hair under the sun with a stool and comb. Then the storm came. The rain poured as if the sky itself had been torn open. Water gushed from rooftops, pounding on iron sheets like war drums. The gutters overflowed, streets vanished under brown waves, and in less than an hour, Kim's shop floor was underwater. She tried to stop it, used rags, old buckets, even her own body to block the entrance. But nature had no sympathy. One dryer sparked and died. The extensions and wigs she had stocked for the Easter rush floated like ghosts around her ankles. When the rain finally stopped 2 days later, the city looked like it had been punched in the chest. Shops destroyed, roads collapsed, people broken, and Kim sat in the middle of her shop that morning, surrounded by mud, silence, and the smell of ruin. Her hands trembled. Everything she had saved for, gone. A neighbor passed and peered in. "Kim, sorry yo," she said gently. "You fit try again." Kim didn't reply. She couldn't. The words felt too big to carry. But 2 days later, she woke up before sunrise. She didn't wait for motivation or a miracle. She just got up, wiped her face, tied her wrapper, and walked back to the shop. She opened the doors. It still smelled like loss, but she brought a bowl, some water, and a scrubbing brush. She started to clean. The tailor next door saw her. He brought out his mop. Then the Acura woman came too, handed her a bag of Puff Puff and said, "You need energy." That afternoon, Kim dragged out her broken dryer, cleaned the mirror, and laid out her combs. She braided her first client sitting on a plastic chair with no cushion. When the woman stood up and looked in the mirror, she smiled. "Is your hands still day work magic?" she said. That night, Kim went home tired, but for the first time since the flood, she felt a flicker of joy. By the next week, her regular customers started returning, one by one. Women who remembered how patient she was, how careful her hands felt, how she always offered Zobo while they waited. They didn't care that the walls still had watermarks. They came because of her. And then, something small but powerful happened. One of her clients, a businesswoman from ABA Main Park, told her about a small business grant being offered for market women affected by the floods. Kim applied. 2 weeks later, she got a message, approved, 200,000 Nigerian nairas for recovery. She stared at her phone for a long time. Tears ran down her face, but they weren't from sadness anymore. She bought new shelves, a secondhand dryer, fresh braiding hair in neat rows. She painted the walls a soft pink, and on the front of the shop, she hung a small handwritten sign that read, "Storms come, but so does the sun." That Saturday, as she twisted a little girl's hair into neat cornrows, Kim looked into the mirror. Her reflection was tired, but there was something in her eyes she hadn't seen in weeks. A light, a peace, a smile, the kind that only comes after the storm.